Now, most people, perhaps what I'm about to go through is just far beyond at this stage, but let's have a go anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a system of broadcasting so that you can get things to happen all at once. It's almost like somebody shouting, "Duck!" And of course everybody in the room hears that and actually will then duck. Okay, rather than having to go around to each person and tell them, or each person has to look out and decide whether to duck. This way it's a much clearer thing to do. Now, to make life a little bit easier, what I am going to do is I'm just going to delete my aliens. The reason for this is it's actually far quicker to do it to one and then recreate by duplicating lots, rather than having to add code to lots of different aliens. Now, so here you'll notice that when it comes down, here it's actually deciding that it's actually got to the end of the line. Instead, what I'm going to get it to do is, if it is true, I'm going to get it to broadcast a message, basically to get it to move down. Now, under control, you've actually got sort of a broadcast here. Now, what can I actually broadcast? Well, let's create a new, and of course it's going to be a message. So it might be something like, I don't know, move down. Okay, so it's like somebody shouting at the top of their voice, move down, and then hopefully, as if I've got lots of different aliens, they're all listening, and if they hear that, then they will actually move down. Okay, so if one of them gets to the end, then of course it's going to shout move down. Now, I'm going to just duplicate that to save a bit of time. So here I've broadcast move down. I'm also going to do the same to this one as well. Now, by doing that, I don't actually need this changing the direction, change by -25, because I'm going to do that separately. So let's just move this out of the way. Now, so I've got broadcast instead of changing these things. I'm just going to get rid of those. So if it says move down, I could even get rid of this as well completely, because what I can do, would I need that? Actually, it might be best to leave that in there, but the direction can come out as well. Don't actually need that, so actually it makes my code look a little bit simpler. So as I say, if this alien gets to the end, it's just going to scream move down. Okay, and then of course if it ever hears that message, then of course it can actually get it to shift. So you will notice here, for example, when I receive that broadcast move down, what do I want it to do? Well, I obviously want it to move, or set the Y, or change the Y, I should say, by, I can't remember what the value was before, minus whatever it was, 25, I can't remember. So now, when I hit go, the alien should move just as it did before, but this time, when it actually goes to the end, it's going to scream move down, although this is the thing that's actually said it. It's actually broadcasting constantly move down. So let's have a think about that. So it's going over to the screen, change Y by 25. What's going wrong here? Let's have a think. Okay, so it's moving down, but of course before that what I really need to do is to get it to move back to the left. So how am I going to do that? Well, let's go to move. It's running out of space here. Now normally you can do this. Now clicking on that gives you a little bit more space to actually see things. So what I want to do is I want it to move direction, but of course which direction is it going to be? Well, I'm going to want it to change the direction that it's going in. So if it's going to the right, I think actually I do want it to still switch. So let's set direction. So if it's going to the right, let's go back and change that to minus 20. Let's pop that in there. So set direction to minus 20. That should do it. I'm going to need to have more than one. Let's pop that in there. Let's give that a go so I can make it full size again. Let's pick up the alien. Hit play. So I'm wanting to get to the end, move down, and then come back. Okay, so that's actually fixed that. Okay, so I have still got this broadcast. And that should do it. Let me just check it against the end. Yep. Oh, no, it didn't. So again, there's a little bug there. So how am I going to get to it? Maybe if I actually move that in there first. Actually, I'm just trying to just take this out. Let's take that out. So where's the flag? Let's pick up the little alien. Hit flag. So let's just check it's going there. So that's sort of working. Let's pick up the flag, move over there. No, it's still doing it. So have a think for a moment. Okay, how stupid do I feel? I've just spotted it. The set direction is, both of them are going to minus 20, so it's not actually turning around. Let me just change that to 20, and that should fix it. Final bug to fix is that actually this move direction I don't think actually needs to be there. And again, I'm just going to test it. So that goes down one, that's fine. Let's pick it up. Not easily, move them to the left. So that's doing that. That's very nice. So another thing actually I've noticed, again tidying up, is that Sprite 2, when it does actually hit an alien, it sort of carries on, and if you've got lots of aliens on top of another, you can delete the whole line, which is probably not a great idea. So instead, I think what I'm going to do is have it so that should it actually hit an alien itself, then I think I'm going to get it to broadcast a message to say that it's actually hit. So here, for example, so if it's actually touching Sprite 2, it hides, but perhaps get it to basically shout out to broadcast a message. So here, I think I'm going to get it to shout out a new message, and maybe basically hit. So that is now a message. So as soon as one's hit, you hear it's almost like somebody screaming hit. Now, of course, is anybody listening? Well, certainly Sprite 2 should be listening. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, when I receive a hit, what I want it to do is I want it to basically stop this. Not so easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable, make a new one. I'm going to call this stop. So I've got a variable called stop here. Now you can see it. So stop. Now true is 1, and we're going to set false as 0. So when I actually hit, I want it to set stop to true. So let's get it to do that. So set stop to true. So let's make that 1. Okay. So that's if it's actually hearing somebody screaming hit. It's saying stop, basically. Now in here, what I can do is I can have an if. So maybe if at any point I've got it so that it hears it, in other words stop is 1, then I know I can exit and stop this missile. So here we go. What am I going to do now? I'm going to have a operator. So pop the operator in there. So if stop, let's go to the variables. So if stop equals 1, then I want it to basically abandon it, and I want it to stop this particular script. So stop script. Of course, if I do hit 1, then of course, is it ever going to switch back to 0? Well, no, I'm going to have to tell it to do that. So I'm going to get it to set stop to 0 every time I start firing. Let's have a go at that. So if I now fire, okay, it's actually stopped. What I also needed to do is just to hide the actual bullet as well. So if it does stop, and then I think, as well as stopping the actual script just before it, I think I needed to get it to hide the actual bullet. But remember, when now I'm hiding it, I need to show it every time I now fire. So let's try that. That's fine. Let's start it again. So now, okay, so it did. That's good. So now that's one way of using broadcast, which you'll see the benefit in just a moment. Okay, let's duplicate these aliens. So I can right-click, duplicate. Let's just have 2 for the moment. So let's pick those up. And hit play. Just watch. So really now I'm actually duplicating lots, but I think I might need just to test them as well. So if I fire, you just check that when they go to the end, they do both move down. So I'm hoping as soon as one gets to the end, they broadcast and they move down. Well, they did. They're sort of separate at the moment. That's not great, and we'll have to fix that bug later. Let's not worry about that for the moment. So let's see when it gets to the end. Okay, now that worked, but certainly the one on the right didn't. It might be the actual numbers that I've got, but certainly that seems to be working. Let's just one final check. And they're actually moving separately. Let's stop that and have a think. Some people might argue, maybe I should have a perfect working model and not show you the sorts of things that you have to fix as you go along. But I think I've had a thought, and actually for this particular sprite, I think because I'm saying less than that, I'm going to just change that to 199. I'm also going to change this to 199 because I personally think that might be the problem. Let me just check. Go to this one. 199. I do have this sneaky feeling through experience that might be doing it. It might not after all that, but let's just try. Let's hit the flag. Let's try that. There they go down and they separate again. That's not good. That's not good. I'm going to have to think carefully about that. Let's just test it again. Come on. And when it goes to the left, they both go down, and it works exactly as it should do. Okay, well, let's not worry too much about that at the moment. But what I could do now is I could duplicate this further, duplicate another one. I think you'll get the idea. Let me just stop those. I think which I showed you earlier. Move those. And that one. Now you could take some time to do these, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the costumes, and no, let's keep it at that one. And then the next level, let's choose that, and the bottom one I'm going to choose that one. Could get carried on and go on for quite a bit of time to a sort of finished final product, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of tidying up, and then I'm going to leave you to it. Now firstly, this stop here, under variables, I'm going to hide, sort of tidy that up. And the other thing I'm also going to do is I'm going to just add a couple of barriers, which would look quite nice. Maybe duplicate that one. Duplicate that one. So now I've got barriers, which is quite handy. Now the only thing with these is you'll see that you find you can go through it. I think you would need to fix that and have it so that the bullet actually stops. So again, if it hits those, then you need to broadcast that it's a hit, so it then just gets it to disappear. But I won't show you that. I'll let you have a play and figure that one out. What other things could you have happen? Well, of course, you need to get to the end where you can then, if they get down to a certain height, you actually lose. That's probably the way to actually finish it.